One, two, three. We are live, and it's Friday, and we have an LX. Every time I say it, I want to say L7X. I mean, these things are kind of hard to forget, too. But it's Friday, and of course, it's a Q&A. We're here to have fun. Thank you guys for tuning in right in the beginning, and let's kick off this intro. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
And here we go. We got the test dyno area set up. We got our lucky rubber ducky hooked up to the LX 3000.1. And of course, we got the new Warhorse distro blocks and a lot more. And of course, it's a Friday, so we have to do the Q&A portion side of things and just kick back, relax. It's Friday. It doesn't feel like it. I didn't work for the past 2 days and got to work tomorrow. It's a little bit off, but either way, it's Friday. I hope you guys are going to have a good weekend this weekend. And thank you for tuning in, being here tonight. And I was like, you know what? I think it's about time we look at it, huh? Appreciate you guys so much. William, welcome to the Living Loud with Andy late Friday for the win. Live every Friday from the Kicker Cave. And it really is the Kicker Cave, man. I've seen some guys with some pretty crazier studios than this one, but it definitely has a lot of Kicker in here. We got Kicker shoes, we got Kicker couches, we got Kicker everything. It is the Kicker Cave. So thank you, William. Appreciate you so much, and love that you tune in every time. You guys are awesome, and you just got to look at it. That's all you can do. You just got to look at it. And, man, you guys are awesome. All right, cool. So the comment thing isn't working, but hey, you know what? That's the cool part about it. We do have a like counter working in full effect on the bottom right hand of your screen. So smash the like, guys. Appreciate you. And let's kick this thing off, man. Thank you for being here, Wade. Appreciate you, sir. All right, let's see. Tessa, doing well, doing well. Just glad that it's Friday, even though it doesn't feel like Friday to me. I got to work tomorrow, but still, I get to hang out with you guys, and I've been waiting to talk about this for a while. This is going to be fun. Eric, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Man, you guys are so cool for tuning in all the time. You know, just saying hello. Question, are you going to put the LX up against John's Banda? Man, that Banda, though, I don't know. I feel like I still need to upgrade the load resistors for the Banda. That thing packs a punch. And I'm still afraid to dyno this thing over here, too, whenever I do a complete dyno of it, just because my load resistors are 500 watts, but I've already put twice to them. So let's see if they can take triple. We're going to find out. Thank you for tuning in, Cornut. Appreciate you, man. And we are working on some content, and I wanted to get some things done throughout the week because I didn't have to work Wednesday and Thursday. So, you know, just the fish tanks, you know, we got a few of them. We got them in the studio, too, here. Wiz, where are you at? Come on. Over here, Wiz. Where are you at? There he is. There he is. What's going on, guys? Oh, look at that. Stuart throwing the pennies. Thank you, Stuart. Would you look at that?
I got pennies.
Pennies, and when you throw the pennies, you get the kicker kicking, man. And my arrow just fell. It's from all that subsonic stuff over here, man. And yes. It gets it going. I'll put that up later. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Stuart. And thank you for tuning in tonight. And you know what? I've been excited to talk about this. Just waited for the green light, and here we go. And then in the time frame, too. Tuesday, I just had to talk about the unmasked stuff just because, I mean, that's Kicker Show, and it is the after show. But Friday is an open book, and this is what we do. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate you, sir. Digging the beard. I'm trying, man. I'm like pulling it down just a little bit, you know, starting to get like a Jeremy Wynn kind of roll out mustache here. I'll just grow it out to here, you know. I feel like it could happen. Thank you, Ashy, for tuning in. Appreciate you, sir. And hello to the audio family. That is literally what you guys are. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you, man. And I love that video that you tagged me in today. You know what? I was going to throw up Kicker Club because, I mean, you know, if you don't know what Kicker Club is, you're definitely sleeping under a rock.
Sounds like a cool club.
Yeah, it is. It is a cool club. Clubs are cool.
But yes, Kicker Club, if you're not, you know, sleeping under that rock, or if you are, yeah, there you go. But I do want to take a look at that video that you tagged me in today here. Let me pull that up really fast. Thank you for tuning in, Jeff. And let's pull this up. Make sure I don't pull up my live stream because we will hear double the audio. We don't need that. There it is. There it is.
Police in Germany admit this photo looks funny, but they still want to know who he or she is. Someone dressed as Cookie Monster behind the wheel of a speeding car that was caught by a speed camera. Police also not laughing at the costume, saying that it is restricting the driver's field of vision. Police in Germany admit this photo looks funny, but they still want to know who he or she is. Someone dressed as Cookie Monster behind the wheel of a speeding car that was caught by a speed camera. Police also not laughing at the costume, saying that it is restricting the driver's field of vision. Police in Germany admit this photo looks...
That was actually me on my way to Slamology last year. No. That was awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing that, man. And thank you. Appreciate you for that. Thumper, I like to see search penny, double dies, close AM, wide AM, etc. Varieties. You know what? Every coin matters. And, man, what was that other, what's that? The Hawk Tua girl made a coin? I mean, come on. Make a kicker coin. I mean, it rolls right off the tongue. I mean, hey, never know. But thank you for tuning in, Thumper. Appreciate that you're here tonight. And, man, that's awesome. I haven't seen you all. I'm glad that you're here tonight. Cedric, what is up? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, sir. Let's see. We got all the normal people tuning in. Appreciate you for always being here. The cookies. We got Fry TV. What is up, man? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I just hit him up. Let's see. The pillars in the car are restricting his vision as well. Let's just remove those. I mean, honestly, I get it though. You know, even a air freshener is technically impeding your driving vision. So if you're having one of those, yeah, that's illegal. At least in Pennsylvania here. Basehead 30, thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Appreciate you guys. And make sure you smash the like. We got 19 likes. You guys are awesome. I wish the comments were working. I don't know why the comments aren't working. But either way, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Tonight is going to be awesome. Let's see if this is going to... Yeah, that's not working. Okay, cool. Well, I'll mess with that later. Not a big deal. All right, moving on. Let's see. Okay, so with the L7, see, I always want to do that with the LX amplifier. In my opinion, I don't know if Kicker actually stated this or not, but you know, the KXA amplifier, 2400.1, 1600, 400, 800.1, 1200.1, 400.4, you know, all the different ones, the KMAs, I mean, those are still out there, but the KXA, to me, the KXA 2400 was the amplifier that really, you know, that was like my first actual Kicker amplifier. I've used Kicker subs, but I never used an amplifier, and I was really blown away with just how it performed for what I had. So with that going out of, you know, just end of life, I kind of was upset. I'm like, man, I really like that amplifier, and I know a lot of you guys did too. And this LX amplifier, in my opinion, is just a KXA version 2 with a few extra features for the other 4 channels and stuff, but we're going to get over there eventually here, probably towards the second half of the show. So about 30 minutes in, if you want to just grab an extra Twisted Tea or something, around 30 minutes, we'll head over there and we'll just take a look at it. And you know, I got a little demonstration for you guys. What you got to do a demonstration. I love podcasts, but sometimes it's like it's a live show and then there's a podcast. There's like 2 different things. So I love to do the demonstrations, and something that the Kicker amplifiers do with the KXA and the LX amplifiers that is different than any other Kicker amplifier, and I think is amazing, and they should have it on every amplifier, but we will get into it. All right, let's see here. Cody, thank you for tuning in, man. What's up? How you been? Doing well. Just one day at a time, catching up on things around the house, setting up the Christmas lights, you know, Christmas tree, all that fun stuff. And doing water changes. I got about like 10 fish tanks, you know, anywhere from like 10 to 75 gallons, just all different sizes, a bunch of 75s. And that takes like 3.5, 4 hours. So we did that and fixed some filters. The filter is kind of like the alternator and battery for the fish tank. Like you kind of need that. And we were seeing below 10 volts on one of the tanks. I'm like, okay, we need another battery. I mean, filter. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Andy, for being here. Appreciate you as well, man. You guys are awesome. And Uncle Bobby B, I was wondering, usually this guy's 5 hours early to every stream.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
And this time, he is late. He is late. Love you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. They make the cars go boom. They really do. They make the car go boom. Thank you, Thumper. Appreciate ya. Let's see here. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down. Will that work? If I do this, if I do this, if I do this, Nope, comments still ain't coming through. That's so weird. Everything else was working out perfect, but we still got a like counter, and that's all that matters. That was the main thing I wanted to work on, was the like counter, because I know you guys can see it on YouTube, but I can't see it unless I'm directly on, you know, the YouTube page, because I have that over here playing the entire time, but I have to go over there and look at it. Now I can see it right here, so smash the like. Appreciate you guys, and thank you for tuning in. Todd, you made it. He stayed up all night long. Thank you for being here, man. And thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to help you out with your L7X build, to say the least, and just to get you bumping down the street. And, you know, the LX amplifier, he was asking me about that too. It's like Warhorse or LX amplifier. And in my opinion, I feel like they're just two different things. You know, if you really want power, just go with the Warhorse. Honestly, it's almost a 5K in a lot of aspects, and this amplifier is a 3K. You know, and you're gonna see amp dynos between me, Derek, and Rob, and a few other guys out there. And you know, it's just Kicker does rate it. You know, of having an amp dyno over there, it's kind of funny. It's like, I know it's going to do rated, but how much more than rated? You know, and I feel like that's the difference maker between every Kicker amplifier, where the entry ones do just rated. You know, they're not giving you extra gravy. But when you get to the Warhorse, the KXA, the LX amplifiers, you know, like the big dogs, they give you all the gravy, unlimited gravy. And I know Rob loves gravy. I would just go for the gravy. Go for the gravy. Thank you, Garrick. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Got voltage knob on the way. And yes, Cedric is adding a voltage control knob. And pretty much that's like a, what's it called? A potentiometer with a diode. I believe it's a diode in there. But either way, you know, to add higher voltage charging to his system by 0.6 of a volt at the most. And I think that's nice, you know, because a lot of cars, maybe you don't want to run it at 15.5, 15.4 all the time. And you just want it for whenever you're demoing and you want your alternator to field more power when your voltage is dropping. It's just gonna work harder because it's trying to get to a higher point, so it's going to dump more power and try to bring those batteries to a higher voltage because the set point is higher. And that's what's great about those. And you can just adjust it rather than just, you know, throwing a diode in there and you're stuck where you're at. But either way, can't wait to see what you got going on, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, sir. My Oscar tanks are big work as much as my new stereo stuff. I know it's kind of crazy. It's like literally two giant hobbies, and like my stuff is still basic compared to, like, you know, how the fish gurus are. But either way, thank you for tuning in, Paul. Appreciate you. And I don't know where Dubby is. I do not know where Dubby is. But you know what? I might as well bring that up. The site isn't entirely done, and there's still a lot of things that I want to add. Let's see. No, I want this. Living Loud with Andy. How do you spell Andy? Okay. And I just started it. We got it going. Of course, we got the website, livingloudwithandy.com. And the merch store, it's got a total revamp. We got new products. But what's most important is we got a new logo. And I wish these hats, this is the only thing that's not in stock right now, but these hats, Dubby loved these hats. He's like, would you look at that? Would you look at that? And, you know, just things just take a look at, you know? And his artwork is amazing. Come on, click. There we go. I wish I could bring that up a little bit bigger so you guys could see that full screen. Let's zoom in. Oh, look at that. Just look at Dubby's artwork. And those are live on the site right now. We pulled back everything. We literally got Kicker's font. We got Kicker font. If you like the old school Living Loud logo, literally this one right up here, that is the font for my new t-shirts. So pick them up, livingloudwithandy.com. It's in the About section. And, I got a few different choices for you guys to kind of pick from, price and quality and all that stuff. Because I know some people, they'd rather just get a shirt, just a rep. And then some other people want something it's going to last. And we got options out there and lots of colors. Working on your thing, Garrick. But otherwise, it is coming along very, very well. And now I need to zoom out of this because there was things I wanted to talk about. And that's going to be too zoomed in. All right, cool. Let's see here. Rolling on the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Simon Staley, appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome that just always tune in. Literally, this guy always on Facebook. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Real Cisco, Montana. I love that name, man. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Does the bandwidth of a box affect the RMS of the speaker? I ask because I use oversized boxes in mid SUVs. I have a 10-inch NA 3.7Q box. Hits amazing lows. You know what? There's two ways I could go about this because I literally was talking about how not just KICKER, but, normal manufacturers rate their subwoofers for RMS power. And then, I was doing some digging because it's like I need to be 100% sure on my wording because if I'm not right, you're a big dummy, right? And so I'm going through things and I literally find it just as a Google search, sitting there with Kip Litzy on the KICKER Unmasked show, and he's sitting there explaining it to me of how the RMS power is tested with their drivers, and then also about the box enclosures. Man, I feel like I just need to pull that video up because it was a very informing video. You guys love Kipster, and I was on the Unmasked show, and it's kind of cringe because it's been so long. I was a noob then, but still, I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. The luck of finding, just a video on this from somebody that I know, let alone I'm on the show. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is kind of crazy. All right, let me see. Here it is right here. Okay, cool.
Rating we put on.
There, can you hear him? You should be able to hear him here. All right, let me pull this up. So with the enclosure size here, we'll skim through this thing here.
What we're trying to do here at KICKER, at least for us, is we don't want to put power handling on speakers that makes you, when you take it out of the box and you get to experience it, you want to go throw it in the trash can like those toasted Cheez-Its, because we don't want you to have that bad of an experience. So It's always for us, when it comes to rating speakers, we do. I mean, any manufacturer is inclined. We want to put the biggest power handling on a speaker that makes sense, because unfortunately, people out there who are buying speakers, all they look at is watts and dollars. They look at how many watts the speaker says it can hold or take, and then they say, well, how much does it cost? And they try to come up with a value proposition on that. So we try to come up with real-world testing parameters, and one of them is we have, like I said, this brutal, it's a 20 to 80 hertz pink noise test that we run our speakers through, and the RMS rating of our speakers have to pass through that testing before that becomes the RMS rating. And if the speaker won't pass that RMS rating, then for us, it boils down to we have to roll the power back to come up with a lower RMS rating and run it through that testing again, or we have to go, okay, is this a material limitation that we could correct and still try to be around the same price point and everything where we're targeting this product to be? So is it a material limitation, or are we really just trying to get too much power into it for what it is? And of course, that becomes a whole engineering marketing discussion where we just keep testing and trying to figure things out. So for our speakers, RMS means something. It is a valid number. It does tell you something. And just understand the peak ratings. We kind of follow the same industry standard of just doubling peak or doubling RMS to come up with a peak rating.
Right. Absolutely. I like how you guys you right don't here. Spare right no expense, and with the manuals, you guys still even list power ratings for different types of enclosures and different sizes, obviously, because they're different enclosures. I like that.
Well, the reason that exists, Andy, the rating on enclosure. So if you go to any, pick out any speaker you want on kicker.com, we actually have a power bar, and there's sealed enclosures and we show a power range, and there's vented enclosures and we show a power range. And what we're doing there is, once you get a speaker to its mechanical limit, meaning it can't move any further. So let's say, for example, you got this speaker that's rated at 800 watts RMS, and you put it into this really large ported enclosure because you're trying to accentuate or get a lot of really low bottom end out of it. When you go into that big of an enclosure, the spring or the air spring that's at air volume, which helps control that speaker while it's moving, is very, very big. It's very, very loose. The suspension is very loose. The air spring is very loose. So to get to the mechanical limits of that speaker, it's not going to take 800 watts of power. You're probably going to get to the mechanical limits on that speaker with easily probably 400 to 500 watts of power. So it's not that the voice coil isn't capable of the 500 watt RMS power rating we put on it, but then the other thing you got to look at when it comes to speakers is the voice coil's got to stay together, and the speaker can only move so far. And if you've already moved the speaker, let's just pick a number. If this speaker is designed to move 10 millimeters this way and 10 millimeters this way, and if you move it any further, the surround would break, the spider would break, the tinsel leads would break, because that's all the movement that's designed into the mechanical parts. You can't move any further. So if I get to its mechanical excursion before I get to the RMS power rating, you don't need to run more power into that speaker because you can't move it any further.
Right.
And that's why
it's almost going to be like clipping for an amplifier, but clipping for a subwoofer. You're just going to reach the peak.
Yeah, it is. It's You're exactly right, Andy. It's mechanical clipping because you've moved the speaker as far as it can go one way. It can't. The only way the speaker could move any further is if something broke. If the surround let go, if the spider let go, that's the only way it could move out any further. And the same thing going back. It can't move back any further because for it to do that, the spider would have to break or the surround would have to break. And the surround and the spider are the two.
So thank you, Kip. Appreciate you, man. That guy, love him so much. And I feel like he covered everything with that portion. And with this question here, it's like literally almost the same thing. And the bandwidth is just what you're playing. And if you have a tuning of your port, farther you get away from that tuning, normally more the speaker is going to start to, quote, unload and move more freely. And that's whenever you can run into that physical clipping of the woofer of just, bottoming out. And so does the bandwidth of a box affect the RMS? I feel like, it's just, you just want to play. If you have a big box and you're trying to get every ounce out of it, have proper high pass and low pass filters on it, or, infrasonic filters, either one you want to call it, of just what you want it to play, and then play it like you can. If you don't, then you might run into those limitations. And thank you for your question, Real Cisco. Appreciate you guys. And I just wanted to show you guys that. Let me pull this down here so it doesn't keep playing here. I wanted to show you that because I got into it with a guy with how they rate power on a subwoofer. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, just like what's the RMS? Like, we're not talking about peak boss watts or whatever, or dynamic power on an amplifier. We want to know the RMS of the woofer and what should I put that with, and how do manufacturers do that? And Kip literally went A to Z and literally how they do that to 20 to 80 pink noise. And it's on a clipple and free air. And it's like, it's not a continuous sine wave at 40 hertz. That's what the guy was saying. And I understand, maybe that's what they are starting to do in some companies, but it's not RMS. It's a total different thing. And if it needs to be another name for that, where how much power it can take, continuous sine wave at 40 hertz in the best atmosphere, and people are still going to blow them up. Okay. They're going to be like, I only had on this much power. Well, you were playing 60 hertz. The woofer wasn't moving much. So it's really hard to have another judge of just what can it take at 40 hertz. What is that, free air or in a box? Because it's a big difference. But either way, that's how they rate it. And I just wanted to clear the air. Just wanted to clear that. He said, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm like, okay. I get it. That's why I looked and I seen that. I'm like, let's go, Kipalicious. Let's go. Thank you, Real Cisco. Appreciate you guys. I'm behind on the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Dean, Jay Lee, Wade, Blake B. Hey, y'all, how's it going? Appreciate you guys. And Unlimited Gravy, now we're talking. That's what I'm saying, man. The African peacock chilids will keep a man busy. I've not messed with chilids, but I've heard they are kind of picky with who their tank mates are. Thank you, Basehead. And I got a Bala fish. His name is Bubba. He's the biggest fish I got. Ball of Bubba. It just goes. We got Charlie the Pleco. We got another Pleco I don't have a name for, but another big one. And angel fish and tinfoil barbs. And we got a lot of turtles. We got a snapper and 2 red ear sliders. And a few other fish, African clawed frog. You know, we got a whole zoo downstairs. Let's see, we got Big D. Oh, Big D's right here. Can't wait to hang out on Tuesday and discuss the LX and more. Thank you, Derek, for tuning in. Sorry I had to go through that whole entire video. But yes, please, guys, make sure you tune in this Tuesday. If you got any questions for Derek, obviously we're going to try to, read some of the comments. We'll have John and whoever else in the backfield trying to pick out the good questions. So if you got a good question for Derek, hold it till Tuesday, and we're just going to hear his entire history A to Z, and just I want to interview him myself. He's an awesome guy. 12-volt talk, Big D, Williston Audio Labs, and Old School Stereo talk about, just the YouTuber, man, of just car audio, and I love his content, and he's an awesome person, so it just kind of blends. Thank you, Derek, for tuning in tonight, and can't wait to see you. Try that link I sent you, by the way, in email. If not, I'll resend it to you. We don't use StreamYard here. We're a little bit different, but, it's worth it. The quality is amazing. StreamYard definitely crushes a little bit of the format. We got too many little widgets going on. Otherwise, I wouldn't have switched. I really wouldn't. Thank you for tuning in, CAE. Appreciate you, man. And if you haven't checked out CAE, go check out his channel. This guy goes live videos almost daily. Keep up the grind, dude. And thank you for tuning in. And CAE is on the way. Todd Wolf. Let's see here. What are we at? We're already at 30 minutes. Oh, man. We got to talk about the LX amplifier. Off subject. Can I charge my Titan 8 S5 with my multi-charger set to AGM or standard? With the Titan S5, if it's the power series, I mean, really, it's going to, kind of try to charge it like an AGM. And if it's the reserve series, it's going to try to charge it kind of sort of like a lead acid, if that makes sense. Because they're like 0.6 volts off at the resting 13 and 12.4 respectively. So, yeah, you could use it. I mean, all it's going to do is charge up to like 14.4, give or take, maybe 14.8. I hope it doesn't go too much higher than that. It shouldn't, because it's an AGM charger. And then it should float around 13 on that. Yeah, that will work, but I don't recommend that for just for every Titan battery, because the S5 does work. Its resting voltage is 13 volts for the power series and 12.4 for the reserve. So it's at the same resting voltage as AGM and lead acid, so it will work. Now, if you have the S6 or, just a 6S bank, then no, that thing needs to be charged, a little bit higher. But yeah, that'll work. Just keep an eye on it. That's the only thing. When you're charging batteries, especially for the first time, just take a look at it every 15 minutes. Make sure nothing's going wonko. Let's see. Okay, lots of comments, man. You guys are awesome. I wish the comment counter was working. I'll get it fixed. It was working. I don't know. I think I broke it. It's past my bedtime. Love y'all. Mean it. Gonna be on with Andy Tuesday. See y'all then. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you, man. He's probably gone because I'm so far behind on the comments, but I had to show that video because so many people, they talk about, amplifiers and the RMS rating and Parker's videos of like how long it can take it. I know he's pulling his videos instead of 5-minute RMS tests, a sine wave for that. It's down to 3 now because it's really hard on any woofer to withstand a constant sine wave, just unless it's just underrated. Look, elephant in the room, sundown. They underrate them. That's why they will do that and more. If at a sundown it had 2,000 RMS, was any other driver that they rate RMS, if like not a continuous sine wave kind of deal, not even just sundown, but you know what I'm talking about, high temp coil stuff. Even like the L7X almost fits that niche of being able to take the sine wave continuously, which it probably can, but I don't know forever. But still, you get what I'm saying. I feel like it's just the RMS in that would be like 3,000, if that makes sense. It's almost like the square root mean squared means something. It's kind of like a peak to peak, not a continuous thing. Thank you, Shannon. When KICKER make the Warhorse 3600.1 half ohm stable? Well, I've run mine at half ohm. I mean, it's if you're gonna do it with any brand. and have a little bit of confidence and wiring a little bit lower than it's rated at, do it with a KICKER amplifier, because it's not going to just blow up in your face the first time you do it. Now, if you keep running into problems and, you know, it keeps shutting off because box rise, it's not good enough at that frequency, and you're playing songs out of your range like we were talking about with the box, you know, of being really big, and bandpass with the RMS capabilities, same thing with the amplifier. If you're playing way too below your tuning or way too far above your tuning, the box is going to load, the impedance is going to drop, and the power is going to go up, and that amplifier will finally see, hopefully not below that 1 ohm or whatever it's stable at, since you're wiring below that. And that is the whole thing that mainly triggers the amplifier to either blow up or go into protect. And, you know, if you want a 1/2 ohm stable amplifier, just expect less power, 2 ohm. You know, that's the easiest way to explain it, man. My camera's going, it says red. Why are you saying, okay, you good? You good, bro? Okay, just checking. And when you see an amplifier that actually is 1/2 ohm stable, you look at the 2 ohm rating and it almost drops off like it's a 4 ohm rating, because then you have to build a huge power supply and output section to be able to handle that continuously, rather than just being able to wire at 1/2 ohm and then leaning on impedance rise. So thank you, Shannon. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome, and I love the questions. We need to jump over there, but I need to check up. So much knowledge here, especially when Blake is tuned in. Thank you, Shoop Dog. Appreciate you. There is Blake. Troy, those LX amplifiers are sweet, and they really are, Troy. They really are. We're going to be going over there right now. Maybe we should do that now, huh? Let's do it. Let me... Well, you could just look at it. Let me switch here. All right, test 1 2 3. Let me check the audio here. Audio is coming through. Let me pull this up a little bit closer. There we go. This is your captain speaking, coming at 40,000 feet, flying over Stillwater, ready to take a look at the new LX 3000.1. Please buckle up and enjoy your ride. That's been a while. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this over here so I can just have all the comments to myself over here. I'm gonna take my sip of water before I leave it over there, because I do that all the time. I do need my phone. All right. Need my phone to make sure that we're connected. Okay, so we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. Let's close this. We're good to go. Now I need to clip this because, yeah. Let me know how the mic sounds, if I sound too hot or not. Let's see here, man. You guys are awesome. Andy, is it necessary to have a battery with a power supply, or can I run one without one? Excuse me. To have a battery with a power supply, or can I run? Okay, so with the power supply, you know, technically no, but I don't recommend it, because the battery is going to be forgiving, the power supply is not, and 9 chances out of 10, the power supply you buy is probably from China, and the protection circuits aren't always the best, unless you're spending like hundreds of dollars on a power supply. Always put a battery in line just in case, and it just put a battery. Just do it. Basatronics, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate ya. And man, Bass, I love you too. You just gotta look at it. You just gotta look at it. Johnny, appreciate you, man. All right, so those comments are flying up by themselves, but that's okay. We're almost caught up. Why can't I see that? That's so small on the screen. That's a paragraph and a half, but I can read it right up here. Let me turn off this auto scroll because it's driving me nuts. There we go. So I can read this comment here. Johnny Chambers. Hey, Andy, I have a... Oh, my goodness. No. You see that scrolling on me? Okay, hold on. Over here now. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm trying to dock a spaceship to a freaking another spaceship. Hey Andy, I have a quick question for you. I'm getting ready to install a custom enclosure made from Showtime Audio in Chicago in my 2024 Escalade, using a factory stereo and using an LC2i Pro to get the signal. My question is, how will the KICKER 1800.1 amp do with the 3 Hertz MP3 250? 4 ohms wired together at 1. Am I saying that correct, or would you suggest the 3600.1 for that setup? Okay, right. So you probably got 2 dual 4 ohm speakers, and your final load would be 1 ohm. And instead of the 1800 or the 3600.1, I mean, the 3600.1's it's I want to say it's more than double the amplifier, but it pretty much is double the amplifier in a lot of cases, but not every case, because it does a lot of power. It does more at 1 ohm than it does at 2. The CX 1800 does the same, roughly, maybe like 200 watts more from 1 ohm to 2 ohm. So there is that. Now, with the entire system that you got, the LC2i, it sounds like you got some integration, and with the 2024, you're gonna need that. Let's see. I mean, what are the subs again? What are the subs? Showtime Audio enclosure. What subs are they? I mean, I feel like the sub choice would be the thing. I mean, you can never have too much power, man. That's going to be my answer for a lot of things. You can never have too much power, you know? But again, you know, you don't want to give your son a Corvette as his first car either, because he might just wreck it. He might just wreck it. Thank you, Johnny Chambers. Appreciate you. Yeah, I seen your message on Facebook. It's thing. And if I stop one thing, I'll forget what I got to do next. But I do, at one just chunk, go through every Facebook message, YouTube comment, because it gets crazy. But this is why this Friday show is perfect, so I can help people like that, literally on the fly. And I try to read every single comment that's on the screen here. Appreciate you, man. And let's see here. Let me know if the audio is coming in okay, because this thing with the background music is like glitching and dying, but it should be good because it's a different microphone setup for what you guys are hearing, and that's all that matters. All right, I'm going to keep that on there just so that keeps coming down and I can see that. I have this here too. The subs are 3 Hertz MPS 250 subs. Man, this thing is just struggling. Okay, so that's the 3 Hertz. Now, I don't know exactly which ones those are, what the RMS is on that, but if you're talking at least 1,000 watt RMS each one, I feel like the KXA 1800 could be enough, but you might want more. You know, I always tell people 80% RMS if like you're new to this stuff, just so that you're under that, and even if you clip, it doesn't matter. But if you really want to get the most potential, literally 120% of the RMS of the subwoofer as your amplifier, or more, but power responsibly. Okay. Can't hear you on YouTube side, Andy's. Dubby. Thank you, Mark. Awesome. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on this. So one thing is, let's do some comparison. I was going to grab the KXA 2400.1 bass knob, but you guys all know that. On here, this is the birth sheet of this one. The LX amplifier, 3086. The KXA 2463. Yes, I had this laminated. It's the only one that's laminated, but trust me, KXAs are close to my heart with just, you know, kicker power, man. I was introduced to, honestly, the best thing that they had, and it's still going. It's in Kayla's car now, or I would show more about it and do a little demonstration here and have all that stuff to show you guys. Thank you, Mark. All right, let me pull this down here. What I can do is hit clear. There we go. Oh, you guys can see what I'm doing now. Would you look at that? All right, so I try to make this as clean as I could with a demonstration. Can I go over here? There we go. Cool. Zoom in, enhance, enhance, rubber ducky. Rubber ducky. Is that all farther I can zoom in? Oh, come on, I need more. More. All right, cool. So, rubber ducky, Atherton, if you know, you know. Now, the LX amplifier is honestly almost the same size as the as the KXA 2400.1. And for comparisons of this versus an 1800.1, it is thicker. Here, I'll pull it on this side so you guys can see that. It is thicker than the 1800, but on lengthwise, it's literally maybe a half an inch shorter than the 1800.1. So I had the entire things that I wanted to show. Maybe if we get some time later, I'll pull those up with like the specifics on here. I'll just try to remember everything as much as I can. Now let's turn this thing on. And the first thing you're going to notice is this thing is freaking sweet. Lights up. All right. Rubber ducky, watch out. We need to look at this amplifier. We need to look at it. Need to really look at it. Does that cover come off without removing wiring? I know that's one thing you got to think about is, man, this thing looks super clean. And one note, these are cut out perfectly for like oversized audio wire compared to the 2400. They don't have the angled inputs. So I love that. It goes in really nice. Like I wasn't fighting the rubber sleeve to get in. They thought about it. I think they made it a little bit bigger. And it does look like, man, you know, you have to take this whole thing off to get to there. How do you get to any of the switches or any of the inputs? How does that work? Magnetic cover. Now, don't lose this. I know people are going to be losing these things like the Alpine end covers. Don't lose this either, because this comes off. Reassemble, reassemble. But man, you can literally change the light color. Is it this one right here? There we go. Got 11 different lights on this thing. Let me pull this up just a little bit. Whoa, whoa, right there. 11 different colors. They're not going to come out perfect on camera, but green team, of course. That's yellow. It's like a gold right there. It's like a bluish white, red, purple. I mean, and then you can obviously change the amount of brightness too, which is nice. So these, if I put this at the lowest setting, not off, you can turn it off. The lowest setting, you should be able to see the colors a little bit better. Cameras, all that fun stuff. But yes, that's the cool thing. If you hold this button for like 5-10 seconds, it will reset to the original color that, there we go. It blinked, 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 and now it's red again. That is the original color there. So that is cool. And I need to put the PDF manual or whatever I got on my website of this so you guys can take a look at it. The stuff I'm going to show you later when we jump back over to the other computer. But yeah, so if you look right here, you got, I mean, I wanted to do more, but I wanted to show a demonstration of this more than anything, of just how this amplifier is just better than so many out there because of what it can do. And thank you, CAE, for gifting 10 memberships. Would you look at that? And it's Friday. All right, I know CAE actually he wants his version. I got it over here. CAE wants his. He wants his.
It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, weekend, Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying, 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 fun, 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 looking forward to the weekend.
Thank you, CAE. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for making that song too, by the way. It means a lot. It really does. And thank you for gifting the memberships. Gotta say hello to my buddy Seth Duffy, works with me. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for tuning in. And appreciate you, man. Alrighty, now what we're gonna do, let me zoom out here a little bit, and I want to make sure you guys can see this on camera. Okay, cool. So we got the laptop here and the amplifier here. Now let me use this mouse here. That is strange that this closed on me here. Let's go here. Yeah, I could just start kneeling like this. You can see my bald spot real good. Okay, cool. Gray spot more like. All right, let's do this. We want 8 scales. Speaking of SPL Lab, we're going to be having Adam on in the future. That's going to be amazing. Very smart guy with SPL Lab and all their equipment. All right, so we're on no hold there. Oh, this lit up. Oh, look at that. Even the bass knob lights up, just like the KXA 2400. And then I think this, see, that reset that to a different color. I don't know how to change this one yet, but I know when you press these buttons, like one is a shock factor and then one is phase, I believe. I don't know if you can change phase on this one. No, it's only giving me two settings. That's it. I don't know if this one has a clip indicator on here as well, like the KXA 2400 did, but we're about to find out. Let me turn that up. Okay, cool. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. This was red before. I don't know if this changes those colors either. No, it doesn't change those colors either. I'm still learning about this amp. This is literally the first time I've turned this thing on. Alright, so we're just going to leave that there. Radio's on. And I'm going to turn the gain right there. Turn this on. Amplifier is on. That should be... Okay, cool. So, on here, the 16 volts that you see, that is the AC voltage. So if you were setting your gains with a multimeter, like you have right here, but this is just for the voltage and stuff, and you can set your gains with that, but you don't know if you're clipping. So what you can do with the KICKER amplifier of this LX amp, you could set your gain without having any of this stuff. And I just, sorry, this KICKER over here is just going full tilt boogie from CAE over here. Full tilt boogie. Poor Cookie Monster is just getting a workout over there. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, that's, I don't know if it needs a bigger amplifier. It's only got a 125 watt little KICKER amplifier. But yeah, it's kicking all right. Thank you, Cookie. Appreciate you. Oh. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear him with all the bass. Let's move back over here. All right, cool. Zoom in, enhance, enhance. Now, I'm going to hope and pray that you guys can see this. So this is not hooked up to anything. This is how you would set your gains normally. But you can do this with your subwoofers hooked up and not hooked up. But I feel like, you know, to get the most accurate reading of just input would be with no resistive load, no reactive load, nothing connected to the output section to test to see where you clip at. But if you want to also be super careful is by also checking the gain with this, because you can see when you clip with this when your voltage starts to drop, if that's the case. So we got the 40 hertz test tone, and it's just at 0 dB full scale. So this is just a burp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the gain here, and I'm going to use this so you can see what I'm doing. And on the far right is the THD. And whenever that hits 0 or 1, that's technically clipping. See, we're at 0.7. I'm turning this up. Oh, now we're clipping. And we're at 1.28% THD. Let's back it off just a hair. There we go. 65.5 volts. Let me turn it back up. And then you can still see that wave is super clean right now. That wave is super clean. And I'm going to turn it up to where it's not. Oh, right there. And you can see on the top there, it's kind of flat. soon as that light turns on, let me zoom in. I don't know if you're going to be able to see too much. Should be able to. You can see where it flattens off right there. It is flat. And then this light is red. And if I back this off just till it turns off, not red. Talk about on the money, setting your gain yourself with no other things needed. And what I do want to do is also demonstrate really fast with KICKER test tones of just how that stuff kind of works. So we're going to go into KICKER, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this because contrast, there we go. No, you're not going to be able to see. So we're going to go to the KICKER test tones. We're going to be pulling up because we did 40 hertz 0 dB full scale. Now what we're going to do, we know where we're clean at. We just set the gain at the volume of the head unit and the gain position, and we're only a quarter of the way up. Not even 3/4 of the way. Like, we're only quarter of the way up, so we can be louder, right? So let me do... I usually like -5 dB because most music rebased is -5 to -6, give or take. It's never 0 dB full scale. But you can do -10, and you might just tend to clip more, but you might get more out of your subs where you might want it. So let's do -10 at 50 hertz MP3, just because we're going to be listening to whatever. See, now you can see we have it at -10. The clip light is not red on the amplifier, and we're only at 44 volts. We were at like 65 volts. So now we have to turn up the gain on the KICKER L7, the LX. We need to turn this up. Turn up the gain. 48, 50. See how much more we have to go? 67, 69, 70, 71. Oh, right there. 72. Now we're square. Let's turn it down. Turn it down. I'll say 69. Nice. And 69 volts on here, and we got a clean sine wave. But on here, this gain is over halfway up. It's over halfway up. And what that's going to do is make the amplifier more sensitive. And the problem with an amplifier being more sensitive, you're going to hear nuances. I think that's the word I'm looking for. You're going to... Do you ever hear, not vocals coming out of your subwoofers, but like the subwoofer is like, goes, and it's not bass, it's like, you know, it's like making some weird things, and that's because the gain is set way too high, and usually that happens from people using like line-out converters that are just terrible. They're only sending out 250 millivolts, which not even a volt, and you want at least 2 to 4. This head unit does 4, and the volume's only at 40. So you want to have that good pre-out signal, otherwise you are going to have to turn up that gain. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. All right, let's see. Volts need more volts. All of the volts. And this thing is still going? No, I don't think it is. But let me see. What else can we talk about? I know right now the subsonic is at 0. You have subsonic adjustability. I wish I could zoom in on this more. Or I can, you know what? We can do this. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We got 42 likes. 40 of y'all are watching. I think there's some bots in here. Volts need more volts. Nope, explodes just so good. Exactly. Exactly, Seth. It picks up the unwanted noise. Exactly. Let me pull up the iShare DC9C. Screen sharer, iShare, we're screen sharing, baby. All right, so let's turn this on here, Filmic Pro, and then we want, let's see, hardware, clean HDMI out. All right, so let me go hit my switcher, and we should be able to have video footage of this here. There we go. We're on my phone, so we can get a zoom in close-up shot of this amplifier here. All right, so again, there is no, let me pull this down for a second. Thank you, Seth. There is no angled inputs. So what these are really, really, really tiny Allen keys, like the normal KICKER Allen key. If you got a KICKER amplifier, they always take this size, and I should know what they are by now, but I don't. And, you know, it's tucked in there, you know, so if you're trying to check for voltage, it might be a little hard. You're gonna have to stab the wire here, so there is that. Same thing with the remote. These are angled, these are not. So that's how you get everything nice and clean. You got the gain button right there again. Well, I can't now, I'm connected here to make it light up. And then here are the buttons right here to change the colors. You can pull this off. This is magnetic. So that is really cool how that is. You know, just don't get too loud. This might come off, you know. But that's cool that you can service that, change the colors, turn it on, off. And then you got your bass boost on the other side. And I don't know if this one lights up or not, but I usually leave my bass boost alone. I don't know about you. Now, on this side right here, we got the DC offset. The DC offset is for mainly OEM integration stuff that send out voltage to the speakers to let, you know, things know, and it'll turn on automatically, so that's nice. Subsonic is 10 to 80 hertz. It's literally like the KXA 2400.1. Crossovers, you know, just your crossovers. And then you got your center frequency for the Kick EQ, which is the bass boost. So that's how these all work. If you got this thing at 0, it's not really adding too much to this. I don't think it is. Once you start cranking that up, then you got to take a look at these. This is like your Q factor for the tuning frequency of the bass boost. So that's how that works. And then you got your input RCAs, and then you got your output so that you can daisy chain these. And then you got your remote wire here. This is just your normal Ethernet cable jack into the bass knob that's right here. And there's the lights. It's a little press button here. You press this to get into the other menu. Okay, look, there we go. I see, what's that say there? Gain, shock, and then, oh, clip. So it does have a clip indicator right there. It says clip. Look at that. Clip indicator. Look at that. And then this is the shock factor. If you're familiar with the shock, I can actually show you what that all means over here. Let me head back over to the other side of the studio here. Can you see what I'm doing? Kind of, sort of. Oh, God. I'm all zoomed in. Johnny, what's going on? I can't. All right. Cool. So that's that. And I forgot my handy-dandy remote control. All right, let's turn you off so you don't just cook for being on for no reason. And let's go over to this side of the studio. And I'm going to show you a little thing from KICKER. It's not the manual, but it is something like it. 47 likes. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you so much for being here, tuning in, and just being able to talk about the LX amplifier, man. All right, let me put this over here. Good to go, good to go, good to go. I don't know what that's doing there. All right, cool. It's really cool that it tells you where your knob is at. I know, and that's how the KXA 2400 was, but that one was wireless, and there's pros and cons with that concept as well, but I like the wireless, you know, who doesn't? But I don't know. I haven't tried this bass knob. We'll see if it's a little bit more accurate than that one. That one was, I wouldn't say it was the most accurate bass knob. It's just big clicks in between. But either way, it is cool that it shows you. You don't have to just guess where it's at. You can count the lights. Sorry, no mute button on this mic. There is, but I have to be over here. And then I go, and then I press there. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so over here, let me pull this up. This is, we're just going to talk about the LX amplifier. This is stuff from KICKER, and for me to share with you guys, since the manual, the product's not even for sale yet. And I was going to wait, you know, until like it was for sale and like boom video, but like it's a live stream. We'll have the video done as soon as it comes out, and we'll go over all this again. But the LX amplifier, 11 adjustable. Let me zoom in one more time here. Enhance. 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 No, I'm just kidding. Too much. There we go. That's good. The LX amps have 11 adjustable colors to choose from, as well as brightness button that adjusts from off to 4 different brightnesses of the levels. We talked about that. You can reset the amps back to default setting by holding the button next to the brightness for 10 seconds. That's the thing that we also did. Now, the LX amplifiers will start to roll back power after hitting 75C, and it's like 150, 160 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take. You know, it's like times 2.1, so, or some 1.9. Anywho, it gets pretty hot, and then what happens is that amplifier gets a little bit quieter. I don't know if you guys ever noticed it, even with like the KXA amplifiers, like they'll kind of do that too. When the voltage is too low, they'll start to like rear back on power, and then they'll shut off, or they do that kind of thing. But this LX amplifier, just like the KXA and the Kenwood 9104D that I loved from Best Buy when I was 17, did the same thing. And I like it because it tells you when you're pushing your stuff way too hot. Like your amplifier is getting way too hot, so then it starts to rear down the power so that it doesn't blow up. And then it can safely, if you keep pushing it, will go into thermal protect and shut off, and that's where it says at 85C, so like 170, if not more, will shut down and won't turn back until dropping back down to 75C, and then it'll be at that power limiting, you know, rollback. Actually, no, it would be full tilt boogie then. It should be full tilt boogie, and then once it goes past 75C again, I think that's when it would go into thermal protect. Now, the LX controller display over an over temp warning. Okay, so that's cool that it shows a temperature warning and a protection light on the amp will turn amber. Okay, so the control center, I don't think I have the control center. I have the bass knob. The control center comes with the 4-channel, 5-channel, 7-channel, and 2-channel, I think. I do not have that. I just have the mono block. I was like, you know what? Give me the big one because I'm going to run this on my L7X, and honestly, the color scheme is perfect. Like they're both like that graphite gray, and the KXA was black, you know, black and red. I like it. It'll match with a L7X or even Comp Q. So I like the color scheme, and it can go with any kind of theme. Maybe not shag in a car, but any theme with the LED changing lights. I think that is that's pretty cool. Everyone likes LEDs. I mean, look, we got LEDs over here. You know, I mean, come on, let's just keep going here. All right, so. Oh, nope, nope, nope. What are you doing, Andy? What are you doing? There we go. Too many buttons. All right, cool. And the Shockwave 2.0. So it's what was in it on the KXA, but now it's 2.0. I don't know if it's revised anything different. All new bass restoration processor built into the LX Mono 5 and 7 amps, channel amps. Improved from the KXA amplifiers. Improved even more, and from what I understand is, you know, you use it for music that doesn't really have bass, and then it takes the lowest octave of like that song note and then lowers it, you know, and gives you a artificial lower bass note out of that same note, just a lower octave, so that you actually feel bass in a song that normally wouldn't have bass, and it's not re-bass. Now, don't use this if the song has a lot of bass. It's going to get muddy really fast. But otherwise, awesome to see. 850.1 and 500.44 channels use 4 gauge, and the rest use 0 gauge. So yes, of course. And now you can screenshot this if you want. I'll leave this up for just a second. Go back, screenshot it if you want. These are going to be the dimensions. This is for the 3000, 1650.1 right there. And just kind of like, you know, the basic stuff. Signal noise, 95. Let's see, input sensitivity, 1 volt on the low level to 40 volts. So this thing is the, what is that called? Fit plus 2, up to 40 volt pre-out signal going in. So you could just tap this into whatever, use a line driver, and is awesome. Now here are the ratings. I know you guys might have seen this before, but screenshot this for the 1250.1, 850, and every other 4-channel they got. And again, just little synopsis here of just let me zoom out just an inch here of just, oh, there we go, of just the amplifier. and what it comes with, stuff like that. Shock 2.0, voltage, battery voltage indicator, output clipping indicator, subwoofer level. And that's what this comes with all the single mono blocks. Fit Plus, 40 volts. Reversible kicker center. Okay, so that's why that moves. It's so you can reverse it. I was wondering. I'm like, you sure you want this to come off? But you know what? After seeing the KXA and you couldn't flip it, it was a sticker. Once it was there, you didn't want to peel it off. So that is cool. I like how they did that, and we're good to go. We're good to go. All right, let's see what I missed on the comments. I just wanted to do that. All right, let me stop doing that because they keep scrolling down on me. But not a bass knob. Not a bass noob. Did you say knob? Dobby, there's Dobby. Thank you for tuning in, Dobster. I was showing off your artwork earlier. I think they were taking a liking to it. Appreciate you tuning in with us tonight, mate. Another great... Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Kibo donated a $5 super chat. Oh, would you look at that? You gotta look at it.
Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You gotta look at it this way, okay? You just gotta look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
I'll do a $10 super chat if you just hit red all on your mailbox. I mean, we only have 30,000. 30,000 unread emails. I ain't reading them. I love you, Kibo. I ain't reading them. That number is a milestone. We got to get it higher. Just like we got 50 likes on the video tonight. Thank you guys for smashing a like. If you didn't already, please do so. And just little things I like adding to the stream. We always have things going all over the place here, you know, and talking about Kicker. I love it, man. And Friday was a blast, and you guys are awesome. And thank you, Kibo. Appreciate you guys. I feel like I just got to skim over these comments, and then we're going to end it. I want the 7 channel for my wife's car. Man, that 7 channel is awesome, just so that you can have your tweeters, like your whole front stage, your tweeters, mid-range twiddlers, whatever you want to call them, and then your front door speakers, like your mid-bass, stuff like that, and then your rear fill, you know, and then have a subwoofer section, or just all 3 in the front and nothing in the back. Like you could just have, you know, like your mid-bass doors, like 6-inch mid-bass, maybe street series, you know, 3.5s, and then silk dome tweeters on the top, 6 speakers in the front of your car. That's where you want the sound anyway. And yeah, one channel for the subwoofer. Thank you for tuning in, Fee Fi Fo Fum. All right, cool. Let's see. Man, Kibo really got that kicker kicking. He really got that thing kicking. Let's see. Over 30,000 unread emails. Sorry, I wouldn't be able to. Dude, you know what? A lot of it's spam, but a lot of it's like, I don't even know. No control center, Andy. That's it. I'm going home. You know, no control center on the subwoofer. Mono blocks, amplifiers. So if that makes sense. The 4-channel, 5-channel, 7-channel, and I think there's a 2-channel. I believe they all come with that. And that's for like left-right separation. It's, you know, I thought it was more like the, what's it called here? The SXRC for the SX amplifiers or the Warhorse amplifiers, where you would bring that control module up to the front of the car, but it's not like that. It's just for dialing in your system, hook it up in the back. Okay, we need left, we need right, we need to do this. I want to see an entire video on it. I know there's a few out already. I'm going to go take a look at them. But either way, it's for quick fine tuning. But don't take my full word on that. Go check it out. Like an epicenter. Yes, exactly. And that's where people were saying, oh, get an epicenter. And I'm like, and then I look it up. I'm like, that sounds like Shock from Kicker, you know? And it's like, so it's the same thing. And yes, pretty much a built-in epicenter into it. And it's good because, you know what? Steve Irby came from a time where music just didn't have that much bass. And it makes sense why he makes that a thing. Sub-harmonic synthesizer. Yes. Yes. You do just gotta look at it. Would you just look at it? Would you just? Oh God, they got them all going now. Oh, would you look at that, dude? 30,000. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I already had to take Ernie's email down because that was already on there. I'm like, okay, we don't need to show off everything. Garrick with a $20 super chat. What?
I don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
Thank you, Garrick, spreading some Christmas love from TX, Kansas, from Kansas to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Garrick, and appreciate you always tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel and getting that kicker kicking, man. You guys are great. And, oh, I lost something. There we go. I hit a button there. Thank you so much for just always tuning in and being an awesome guy, hanging out on the Discord, and, you know, just being a good person. You know, I see everything you do, and it means the world. Like, just person that you are. I need more people like that every day because there's a lot of negativity out there. And you try to steer clear from that. So thank you so much, Garrick, and appreciate you supporting the channel and tuning in, man. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? I'm so far. No, am I really that far behind? No, I'm not too far behind. Okay, we're kind of catching up here. Good. 42 of you guys. The kicker is kicking. Holy moly. I'm waiting for the day for when Cookie Monster's feet just fall off. You know? It's like that elastic plastic problem. You know, eventually it just snaps. So there is that. But, thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you, man. And I think that is the coolest thing in the studio. I mean, with all the things we got in here, when you guys support, it supports back, man. It plays some subsonic support frequencies. AKA 12 hertz. A lot of wasted information nonetheless. But thank you, Garrick. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys. Now I'm wondering, I just run the LX model rather than the Warhorses, and that's, you know, it depends if you want more power. That amplifier is going to do 3K at 1 ohm. The Warhorse, yes, it does a little bit more. It does like 3,800, I think, at 1 ohm certified, but it does like 5K uncertified at 1 ohm, so it's got a lot of headroom. And to be honest with you, man, we're not playing certified music when we got it up all the way. Not saying that you're just past clipping, but, like, you know, you're enjoying the music, you're playing it loud, you're probably not under that unless you got all the power in the world for your subs, and you're never going to even be close to clipping. So that uncertified number means more, and that Warhorse amplifier should have a lot more than its LX amplifier. But knowing from the KICKER 2400.1 and how much power that did, I mean, we could do a whole live stream on a comparison of the 2400.1 versus 3000.1. And I know Derek did a video on the KICKER KXA 2400.1. And let me take a look at that, since we're going to be having Derek come on the show, literally.
3 kinds of bass, bass outlaws. See what we got here.
On Tuesday here. Let's take a look. If you don't know who Derek Williston is,
The clipping
Williston
point,
Audio Labs.
which it does get almost
right,
2,500
so
watts, 2494
go
at
check out his channel.
13.95. Then we're going to do the dynamic test. See the dynamic capability at 2 ohms.
So this is just 2 ohms here right now, and the 1 ohm rating is what I'm more interested in on this, just because.
Open anymore? Nope. 2561 at 14 volts. Very nice. Now check this out. Efficiency, 88.7%. Now it's probably closer to 80 because there is some, you know, differences in how this clamp meter works, but still, either way, it's super impressive. 1 ohm next. Amp is rated 2400 watts. Check this out. What? Almost 3,500 watts. I was blown away. I actually wasn't sure, based on them saying, you know, plus or minus 10%, that it might actually do less at 1 ohm. Wow, was I completely shocked by that number. Now let's try uncertified, which takes us up to the clipping point. And again, my voltage is dropping quite a bit, but still 3,500 watts at 13.8. Holy moly.
So maybe it's more of a thing where it just did a lot more than it said it did on the dyno. So I don't know if this one's going to do extremely much more because, I mean, I don't know if they test that. They must test that at 2 ohm when they do these certified power ratings. Because if Derek is doing 3,500 watts certified, I thought it was uncertified. On the bottom there, excuse me, 2463, and that's about what he got at the 2 ohm run. And that says 3,086. So maybe the LX does 4,000 at 1 ohm. Or just a few hundred watts underneath that. I mean, it says 38 dynamic. I don't know if that's dynamic or if that's uncertified dynamic. I know dynamic numbers like drum punches, you know, boom, 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 at that loaded resistance. So, and it's just how much headroom does the amplifier have? Not so much the power supply, because it's not really going to be pulling too long, so the power supply can be weaker to create numbers, and that's why I don't like dynamic numbers. But still, I mean, it's going to do 3K plus, and I think it's going to be right around the ballpark of the KXA 2400, and I'm just glad that it's back. I am glad it's back. I think that was their coolest amplifier, man. If you want more power, go for the Warhorses. I'm telling you, they're going to do more, but by how much more? You know? And I don't know the price on this one yet. We don't know prices yet. Thank you, Fry. Appreciate you, man. And you got to have them things moving in the studio, man. You just do. And Fry, go check out his channel. He has got everything in that studio. Watch one of his lives. Just go and look at it. Go and look at it. He outdoes me, man. He's got a lot of things in his studio. I mean, I do need more. I do need more. I will have a Solo X, you know, hair trick chair. I will have that in here. Let's see. Put it damn subs. Let's see. Caboose time. I know I gotta end for you guys. I don't want to keep you here much longer. They're John Myers' favorite sub. I have 12 TW3s at the moment, but the L7Ts look cool. And you know, the L7Ts are nice, or the CWRTs, Comp RTs, you know. And I feel like when it comes with downfiring enclosures and subwoofers, slim, you know, it's not a huge difference, you know, because you're only got so much space to work with, and the woofers have to be designed this different way. But I mean, they fill a void, man. They will give you bass when you don't have much space, and they definitely work, man. Thank you for tuning in, Sean. Thick thighs save. Oh, come on, Garrick. You know what? I'm done. I can't trust any of you guys. Chris, what? I thought you're the one in control here. He's like, nope. Busy in my studio, too. Thanks for tuning in, man. Veet Dev, appreciate you. How you been, man? And this is the end of the show. I'm going to cut it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Where am I at here? Camera 1, 2, 3. Kicker's just going. It's throwing me off here. No, but thank you guys for supporting tonight. And make sure you tune in to Kicker Unmasked, a.k.a. Kicking It With Andy this Tuesday. I'm live this time, and we're going to have our boy, Derek, from Williston Audio Labs or oldschoolstereo.com. And you know what? Just because I'm going to throw... Oh, you know what? I don't have it here, do I? You're going to have to wait for Tuesday for that. Wait till Tuesday, but make sure you tune in. Have an excellent weekend. Love you guys. And as always, stay living loud. I'll see you guys on the next one. You big dummy! Oh, that kicker is kicking. It is kicking.
Okay. So we're kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud.
Gotta unmute that one. Let's go. What's up, Andy? Donald Logan. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We're going to have an awesome show tonight. Just kidding. It's over. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, William. Thank you, Fry TV. Dubby and Coronut coming in. Clutch. Getting the kicker going. $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Coronut. And appreciate you guys. And as always, stay living loud. And music in 3, 2, 1, dance. Oh! Oh! Oh no! No! Not SDK! Not SDK! He stole it! No! No! But you know what? Hope you feel better, buddy.